very competitive grid here. The front row with 2 Metros, 6 R4s, going to compete over 5.5 laps, remember, 5.5 laps. And the 2 Metro 6 R4s of Will Gollop there on the outside of the front row, and in pole position after 2 storming drives in the qualifying runs is the blue Metro of Steve Palmer.
Well, I'm keeping my eyes on that second row of the grid, Steve, because you've got in there Trevor Hopkins, and Trevor Hopkins can be quite a difficult man to get past down there in Chesson's Drift as they come off the line for the first time. We've seen 1 or 2 incidents happen before. I'm not saying that Trevor does it on purpose. He's a lot bigger man than I am, so I've got to be careful what I say. But we have seen 1 or 2 incidents down there in the past. Let's just keep our fingers crossed that nothing happens this time. Bill Chesson's told them to get ready for the last race of the day, and they're away now. Keep your eyes also on Dimi Mavropoulos in the Quattro. Tries to come through, squeezing through there with bodywork flying all over the place. Being sent wide, almost up the banking, it's Will Gollop, but he's got 4-wheel drive to keep him going. He's still ahead of Barry Hathaway, but here's the man in the lead, Steve Palmer. A big battle for second place coming through. It's Barry Hathaway comes through in second. There he is, Barry Hathaway. And look at the front of that RS200 of Trevor Hopkins, and Rennison's car also is plastered in mud. Appears to be deranged at the back as well. We'll pick him up as soon as we can. There was really a lot of action down there in the first corner.
Yes, a tremendous amount of action in there, Bill. It wasn't a place for the faint-hearted, let's be honest. But here we are now with Steve Palmer. He's away, he's clear, and he's comfortably in the lead. And look at the back of Mark Rennison's car there. I think we can safely put 2 and 2 together and say that Mark Rennison and Trevor Hopkins have had a coming together.
Well, someone has, and Mark Rennison is absolutely furious. And I'm not so sure if that's the man that he had an argument with, because the way he went past John Cross there, I think he's got something to prove with John Cross. John Cross now has given up trying to... No, it's not John Cross, in fact. Oh, yes, it is. It was John Cross. There he is, John Cross. He tried to keep up with Rennison as he went down into Paddock Turn, and he didn't really manage it at all. Anyway, 1 lap completed. They're on lap 2, and the order, it's at the moment 4.66 in the lead, Steve Palmer. In second place, Barry Hathaway. Now, that's where Barry Hathaway wants to be, because if he can remain in that position, he will take the Lydden Championship for this year. Third place, this is the battle we're seeing now for third place. It's currently held by Trevor Hopkins, but Will Gollop wants to take that place away from him and then start chasing after Barry Hathaway. And I somehow think, Steve, that if Gollop gets past Hopkins, he will in fact be able to catch Hathaway.
Yes, that's very probably true, Bill. I still feel as though that looking from the damage of these 2 cars, it must have been Mark Rennison and Trevor Hopkins coming together. We've got a severely damaged front on Trevor Hopkins' car and a severely damaged rear on Mark Rennison. So I feel as though it was Mark Rennison and Trevor Hopkins having the coming together.
Yes, and we mustn't forget Dimi Mavropoulos, who has dropped back. He made a pretty good start, but he dropped right back now, and the situation has not changed. The way that Barry Hathaway wanted it is exactly the way it is now. Barry Hathaway is in front of Dimi Mavropoulos, because Dimi is the man in second place in the championship, and as long as Barry can keep Dimi behind him, then of course he wins the series. And there is the leader, Steve Palmer. There are 5.5 laps to go. We are about half distance now. We've also got in this A final, we mustn't forget, Ivan Moakes, and Ivan Moakes, in fact, I can tell you, has definitely won the Division 2. And look at this battle now for that third place. Will Gollop trying to go through on the inside, a quick nudge. He forces... now he forces Trevor Hopkins to go wide. Hopkins loses a lot of ground, and we saw that being done to Will Gollop on the opening lap, and Will now has got his own back, but not necessarily on the person that caused it in the first place. Back with the leader again, the man who's really had a good day today, Steve Palmer. He was fast in the first qualifying runs. He then went out and set the fastest time of the day, beating even Will Gollop in the second qualifying runs, and it looks at this moment as if he's well on his way to victory in this A final. And if he does so, it will be Steve Palmer's first outright victory in Rallycross, and this is only his first season. He's got some stiff opposition out there with him. He's got Barry Hathaway in second place. He's got Will Gollop charging incredibly hard in third place, and Trevor Hopkins and Mark Rennison and Dimi Mavropoulos And yet Steve Palmer, the man who came from 2 wheels onto 4 wheels and 4-wheel drive, don't forget, if he holds it together, well, I've spoken for too long and he's lost it.
Oh dear, and Will Gollop has collected Steve Palmer there as Steve Palmer tried to collect the car round to get off chasing after Barry Hathaway. He pulled right in front of Will Gollop, and Will Gollop hit him very, very hard. In fact, look at the front of Will's car too, Bill.
Yes, indeed, Will Gollop pulling off there. The car has virtually collapsed as he stopped, and that means now we have a new leader. It should be Barry Hathaway. I'm looking around. Yes, it is Barry Hathaway. He's coming through past us now. There he is, number 83, Barry Hathaway. We've said all day that every time we've mentioned a driver, something happens to them. I really should have known better, and I think Steve Palmer will be searching me out afterwards to ask why I carried on talking about him for so long. But anyway, here is the man who is coming up to the checkered flag. The man that's taken the checkered flag is number 83, Barry Hathaway. He not only wins this A final and takes his second victory in the Lydden Winter Series, but he also wins the Lydden Winter Series outright for 1987-88. Second place, it's number 2, the rather crumpled Ford RS200 of Trevor Hopkins. In third place, it's Dimi Mavropoulos. There he is in the Audi Quattro. And then a long gap, because we've hardly got anybody else left on the track. I can see Ivan Moakes just coming past us now, number 119. Ivan Moakes is the Division 2 champion, because John Cross is out of this race already. There he is, number 119, a long way back, but it's first outing with a brand new car. It's the first time that he's used it at all. It's the first time he's sat in it today. He is 4th overall in the A final. He will be absolutely delighted. And not only that, as I say, the Division 2 title as well. So just to recap there, the final order, only 4 cars left at the finish there in the A final for this final round of the Lydden Winter Series. First, number 83, Barry Hathaway, the man who has also won the championship. Second, Trevor Hopkins. Third, this man, Dimi Mavropoulos in the Audi Quattro. And fourth, 119, Ivan Moakes.